The first story, which is the Petroleum Haulage tankers, just trying to understand what is actually going on here, as far as that is concerned. I heard Kwame Jantua making comments on this about the fact that before we realize the Chinese will end up setting up, their own refineries, and then
they have their own refineries.
They have their own refineries. So now, if they are hauling their own fuel, then they'll have their own filling stations as well. And then it's a very I understand the concern, because where it's going, before you realize, there's a whole takeover of that sector, and then Ghanaians can literally be pushed out.
Yeah, you see, it's true. Currently, what happens is that it is either some of the filling stations.
By the way, it's Centro DS.
Yeah, Centro is
Centro is the
the same company.
Okay.
That set up Centro Tiles is the one that is setting up the Centro refinery in Tema. And you see, these people waited until the project is about to start operation.
Yeah.
And it's there that they realize that something is happening.
Yeah.
See, investment, we can say we are attracting investment, but at the end of the day, our people will remain poor, depending on the strategy we are approaching. See, the Chinese that are doing this to us, that we are permitting, they realize that if their country is to make progress, they cannot continue to import things.
Okay.
And though they will import, and they may not have that scale set to produce certain things, they crafted the investment in such a way that for you to penetrate the Chinese market to do anything, you are going to partner a local company.
Okay.
So if you see all the auto companies that are from America and others that are operating in China, they are actually working in partnership with Chinese auto companies, so that the benefit of that enterprise will be shared, and part of it will go to the indigenous. But we are in this country, and it's like we are operating a certain mindset of we want investment.
Yeah.
And that investment that we want, we are not looking at what is the interest of the Ghanaian and Ghana in that investment. We see investment as somebody bringing money and come and setting up something as investment.
Yeah.
But then when we do this as investment, what it will mean is that capital flight will increase.
Yeah.
You see, and after, we are saying that we want to build this continent. But the challenge we are going to have is that if we don't do the investment ourselves, but we don't have laws that compels people to give shares to Ghanaians, people will come and work here, sell the things to us, and take all the money away. What the Chinese company is being allowed to do, no company will be allowed to do that in China. No company will be allowed to do that in China. So I think that the haulers have a very important case, and the government must listen. People cannot invest to buy tankers and all that they do is to transport fuel across Ghana. And somebody says, I'm setting up a refinery, and says I'm bringing 600 tankers so that everything from my refinery, my own tankers will transport it. You are killing the entire transport tanker business in the local economy, which should not be something that the government should accept. In fact, that refinery there that they are building, if it were in China, about 40% will be owned by the local people. A local business person, investor will own about 40% of that refinery. But that's not the case that is happening. So in this country, I've always been saying that we think that we are attracting investment, but we are impoverishing ourselves, because the benefits from all the investments that are in this country are going out of this country. Until MTN was compelled by the Minister of Communication to offload 30% of their shares on the local market. All profit MTN was making was going to shareholders who are outside Ghana. No Ghanaian owned any shares in Newmont. No, how many Ghanaians own shares in all the multinationals that are operating in Ghana? It means that you are only opening your economy, your people are working and giving their money to these multinationals, and they are only transferring the money to their country. You cannot build a prosperous country in this way. And if we admit that government cannot employ all of us, and that it is private sector that will create that prosperity that we are looking for, and we are handing over that private sector to foreigners on the silver platter for them to do all that they can, collect all our money, and our law also allows them to do 100% repatriation of their profits back home. obviously, the Ghanaian will become poorer by the day. The Chinese you see and their companies, most of them that you see that operate here, they actually get loans at very cheap interest rates from their government to go and operate in other countries and bring the profit back to their country. We are in a country where interest rates are about 30% for a local business. And you think that the best thing you need to do is to hand over your sectors and give it to foreigners 100%, do everything and carry the interest, the monies away. I think that we need to look at our investment laws. The current investment law that we have is so bad that we will remain poor. Few people will front for some of these businesses and get some peanuts into their pocket. But our ambition to become prosperous will never happen. There's no country that is built by foreigners investing heavily in that country and repatriating 100% of their profit, and part of it doesn't go to the locals. No country can prosper with this kind of investment strategy. We must stop this.
Okay. So the few headlines on citinewsroom.com. We have tanker union appeals to government to halt the operations of Centio. We also have influx of Chinese tanker trucks will kill local businesses. Kwame Jantua there. I'll read that story brief for you. The story here says the private legal practitioner Kwame Jantua has warned authorities against the consequences of the influx of Chinese tanker trucks in Ghana's oil downstream space. The legal practitioner wants the influx checked to save local businesses. A letter by the Tanker Owners Union to the MPA appealed to the MPA to intervene in the importation of several tanker trucks by Chinese nationals into the country, which they said is affecting their livelihoods. Now, Mr. Jantua, in an eyewitness news interview on Citi FM, backed the cause for the union and warned the government of the consequences of the importation of the trucks if it is not urgently checked. And then there's a quote from him. It says the downstream industry is one part of the oil value chain that has a lot of Ghanaians in there, and that we must not entertain foreigners in this space. The Chinese just don't do anything for nothing. They want maximum control to put in a refinery. They want to go into haulage. If they go into haulage, the next thing you'll see will be petrol garages, and the moment that happens, the local industry and companies like Goyle will be dead. All right. Let me come to Larry.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Your take on this.
Well, first of all, I think that competition is good. And healthy competition is good. Now, but there's a reason why within the boxing arena, you have various weights.
Weight classes.
Do you get it?
Yeah.
Such that I'm sure between you and I, if we were to step into the ring, they will say that you should go and fight in the
you and I are the same weight class.
No, the heavy. You should do the heavy.
You and I are the same weight class.
You have to bring a scale.
So there was no I should like go and do the. Is there a weight like paperweight?
No.
Or bantamweight.
There's flyweights, lightweights,
featherweights.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Essentially what I'm trying to say is this: that I mean, Ghanaian businesses are nowhere near some of these businesses coming from outside in particular, with a vision to, first of all, take over a particular sector and controlling it and maximizing it and, making a lot of profit out of it. These are foreigners who had come. Obviously, it's not they hadn't come here because the Ghanaian terrain is so beautiful, or they had come here as tourists. Do you get it?
Yeah.
They are here to make profit. That is why when you show them that, oh, listen, this forest, there is gold there, within a matter of 2 days, listen, the Chinese don't sleep.
No. Very aggressive.
Very aggressive.
Yeah.
They don't eat like we do breakfast in the morning and all that. They don't. The whole day, most of them don't eat.
Yeah,
they eat late in the evening. And they get a lot of energy for the next day's work. And so when they are working, they have their mind set. What am I driving at? This company called Centio, it's not just, I think they came to do tiles.
Yes.
After the tiles, then they went into cement production. Okay. Then along the line, they also went. I think they tried now refinery. Okay. And to a point that they are not just doing refinery, they now want to do haulage.
Yeah. Refine the oil and move it around.
And move it.
Yeah.
Okay. Controlling, and they will determine who and who should be the drivers of their tankers and so on.
They are also producing iron rods, Centio steel.
Yeah, they are doing essential steel as well. So tiles, cement, what? Iron rods. Now refinery.
Now they want to.
They do haulage as well.
They want to haulage.
And you ask yourself, hey, where are we going with this? Before they came in, we have had the Lovelies, owned by Koku Hogley. And then also we've had a Suma Banda.
Yes.
We've had the Global Haulage. And many others who are already operating here. But they don't want to go into that market and then rely on these people because they want to cream everything, within the value chain. Hence where we are now. Where the tanker drivers are raising hell that, hey, where the thing is going, if we don't take care, we can't meet their competition. Because even at the word go, look at the number of tankers that they are bringing. 300 or
600 at the go.
On which road?
Wow.
600.
Do you get it? Yeah. 600.
Yeah.
I'm not sure Lovely has that number of tankers at his disposal, or any Ghanaian, even the Suma Banda or Global Haulage
has that number.
But they are going to deploy that. Now you ask yourself also that what is the nature of the refinery they are building, such that you need 600 tankers.
Yeah.
Okay.
That can basically collapse the entire.
They're just going to collapse everything.
Petroleum industry that we have.
They are just telling you that, listen, we are not only targeting what we produce, but others as well.
And they can actually literally refine in Ghana and go across West Africa.
Yeah, exactly.
No, actually, that's what they are doing. They are going to export. Actually, what they are going to produce in daily is more than our daily consumption. Wow. So Tor virtually, there will be no need for government to bring back Tor.
To bring back Tor.
Okay, it means that bringing back Tor really is not going to be competitive.
There's no
with them.
any economic sense in it.
And if Tor is not there, and importers also realize that the people are doing everything, we can't import. Means that all the tankers that are doing haulage of fuel products virtually will become jobless, because now the people who are feeding the market have their own tankers.
Yeah.
Because for this
cheaper prices.
they pick from the importers, and if Tor was working, they were picking from Tor. But if there's a company that is going to produce something that will meet our daily consumption and even export part of it, and they have their own tankers to haul everything they produce, it means that a whole stream of people are cut off.
But see it from this point also, that these guys have worked in, I don't know which one they came in with initially.
The tiles was what they came in with. And because we're not producing tiles, it was welcome.
Well, you get it. Now they've noticed that we need fuel.
Yeah.
We have collapsed Tor.
Yeah.
Despite collecting, taxes on collapsed Tor, and having a board in place, and management in place, we're changing chief executives here and there based on the look of their faces or their noses.
But there's no company as well.
But then there's no company working. Now we can produce, we can build the refinery and and produce oil to feed the economy. Okay. Soon after that, we want to haul our own products, the products that we produce. You get it?
Yeah.
So there's a vacuum that they have noticed that they are exploiting to the best of their ability and even beyond their ability. Okay?
Wow.
And we are sitting down there watching. government is not talking. Perhaps because, I mean, things have been moving around. Okay? But I'm excited about the bits that the tanker drivers have raised hell, and people like Mr. Jintua is talking, and then the NPA is compelled, per the letter that was sent to them by the tanker drivers, to also write to, they've written to some institution, they've written to Citi or something.
The NPA.
Okay. And NPA says they don't have any, they haven't registered them.
In the oil sector?
Yeah, they haven't registered as haulage. Yeah, they are supposed to register some of these vehicles that come, but they haven't made any application to them yet for any registration of assault.
Yeah, but you know how things work in Ghana.
Yeah.
I mean, they can say that they haven't registered them, but it can easily be that, what does it take to do registration?
Okay, then you apply, because I think the narrative around that is that this is largely reserved for local,
Yes.
For
are they
local,
saying that they are banning them, they are preventing them, or is that we haven't registered them? Before we realize that somebody has gone and done registration.
Yes,
they build a refinery, how are you going to ban them? You supported them to build a full refinery.
Yeah, but
they are ready to start operation.
Yeah, but you can prevent them from doing haulage.
No, what
you sat down for them to bring 600 tankers.
Well, I mean, are the tankers in the country?
And now the argument that the tankers belong to somebody who is a Ghanaian and that all kinds of arguments are now coming in.
Okay. So, but then my sources in there, tell me that, tankers come in for various things.
Yes.
Some for water, some for let's say normal, the local guys who want to haul whatever product there is. Others use it for septic, as septic tanks and waste disposal and so on. So they can't ban what comes in by way of a tanker. It is at the point of registration, okay, but when you intend using it for hauling fuel and so on, that you need to register with the NPA. And so the NPA guys are saying that no application has been put before them by Centi to register this particular, this aspect of their work here. As to whether or not somebody had used a back door, as service is suggesting, to get some tankers done and so on. Those ones, I'm sure, over time we'll get to know. But this is where we are now. We created a vacuum that the Chinese have moved in, and they are exploiting it to the best of their ability, and then we are hopeless to a point where tanker drivers are now going, are threatening not to go to places and so on. And when that happens, fuel shortage.
No, but you see, okay,
by next year, 2025, the refinery will produce 4.26 million tons of refined petroleum products such as gasoline, kerosene, diesel, high quality above Euro 5 standard. That's what they want to do. So it means that they've completely collapsed all. Because we have adopted this,
and it's only next year.
It's only next year.
Yeah.
Next year.
No, isn't next year? Next year,
2025. They'll start from next year, but the 4.2 million will be. We said we want sulfur 10 pph. Now they say they are going to produce that. TOR can't produce that because it doesn't have the machines. So it means that once they are in operation, they are producing a higher quality fuel that will save everybody.
This is a problem with all kinds of
we should be careful. I don't think that we should let, as I said, we have to look at investment. If you go to the upstream oil sector, apart from Springfield, which is some Ghanaian, now they are even embroiled in a litigation with ENI over their discovery. From Anadako to Talo to ENI and everybody there is foreign. No Ghanaian interest there. Come to the middle level. Ghanaian interest is missing. The only place Ghanaian interest is the downstream. And then the downstream to want to also let foreigners control it. So where at all do we want Ghanaians to make money from? Where? Government cannot give Ghanaians money. People must do private enterprise to make money. And now we are using policy as to destroy private Ghanaian enterprise. Then where do you think that the so-called prosperity we all are yearning for will come from? Unless people jackpot. Apart from jackpot. Because this is the problem. You are making foreigners collect all the money your citizens should make and send it to your country. So we will now go there and become boy for them.
Yeah.
They make a lot of the money from here.
Yeah.
As the president has said,
It makes no sense.
$88 billion a year is siphoned from Africa by these multinationals. $88 billion a year is how much they siphon from Africa a year to their foreign countries. So most of the monies we go there to say we are going to work in Europe, it is our money. But because we have bad policies, we create the grounds for them to siphon all this money away.
Yeah, but we're crying over spilled milk.
We are not crying over spilled milk.
We created it.
Yes, so why can't we change it?
So let's change
Why
it.
can't we change it?
It doesn't.
Why do we have to let this thing be happening to us?
Let's stop being crybabies and let's take hard decisions.
But if we are taking the hard decision, we will not be here when tanker drivers are crying. When the company applied to do this oil, immediately they should have been told that the only thing you do is the refinery. Do you know that God has set up so much money to do a bitumen plant in Tema that they want to provide a bitumen for our roads? Now, if this refinery is working, it's going to produce so much bitumen. They are now going to compete with gold as to the bitumen market. You see, these things we don't take it lightly. We should understand that if Ghanaians will make money, it is policies that will empower them to control certain sectors of the economy.
Yeah.
That's how they make money. But we are handing over every sector of the economy to foreigners, 100%, and they can transfer all their 100% interest away per law. Why do you expect the money to be in this country?
Davis, we have a peculiar situation as a people. Okay. Why, Elvis, we just mentioned that we were in school together. I mean, and I know his quality. You understand? I mean, for media sector, I mean, this man doesn't deserve any, letter from any other person to attest to his qualities and the fact that he should be supported to get to that level.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
But nobody will. You get it? You
But
would
they'll
have
give the same support to a foreigner.
to a foreigner. I mean,
I need a higher support.
some of the outrageous things I hear is that you, a Ghanaian, you can't walk into a bank and take a loan, okay, that is lower interest or whatever. But then a white man or an European can walk into a bank and he wouldn't even need a collateral.
Really?
He's using the color of his skin.
Really?
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm sure some of our viewers will send out some of these things. And so then it's difficult for you. You would have the best business, proposal, and because you've demonstrated some of these things, but you will not get the kind of support there is. I'm sure when this idea of setting up Centio refinery came up, I'm sure there are others who would have demonstrated that, listen, I can do this.
They can also
equally.
do it, yeah.
Can I be supported to do this? No. Who is there to support you? Okay.
Because then we are also worried about you controlling a certain kind of financial clout.
Exactly.
And then somebody suspect that you are going to support your political
what party are you supporting?
My friend,
all this kind of
let's move to
You
this.
get it.
It's so annoying in this country.
very-
Yeah,
But
but
Ghanaian doesn't want the fellow Ghanaian to
yes,
make money.
Yeah.
it's even worse in the mining sector, where you have, I mean, these are ancestral lands and so on.
Yeah.
Gold down there. Somebody tells you that you don't have the technology to mine this, amount of gold, and therefore we'll rather look out for the multinationals and so on to go down there. And the multinationals, they are not here, for.
No, they're here strictly to
Exactly, to
extract
make
as
profit.
much money as possible.
Do you understand?
Yeah, of course.
Move it further to the telecom industry. I recall about 5 years ago, we did a couple of stories about how the dollar, the CD,
Of course.
the dollar, we don't get foreign exchange here
Because they are expatriating it away.
everything goes away.
It's going away. That's why the city
So
cannot
it's
be
going,
stable.
it's going away through the telecom industry. It's going away through the mining sector. It's going.
Because the law
the
allows
Chinese,
100%.
yeah, the Chinese are also,
repatriation
are
of
here.
your
Do you
profits.
understand? So
It says
nothing
anything
stays
you
here.
You don't have to leave anywhere. You are given the right to send everything back to whichever country you want.
Yeah.
Because we said we are looking for investment.
Okay,